Our next inductee, I took her class here at Stanford University. She is warm, she is full of intelligence, light, and love. Her name is Dr. Laura Delizonna, and I would love you to welcome to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. Defining moments are the point at which the essential nature of a person is revealed. I had a defining moment the summer of 1998. I was a doctoral student at Boston University, but on the weekends, I was a whitewater rafting guide. There was a big storm, and when I got to the river's side, I couldn't believe the water level. It was so high, higher than anyone had seen in years. I met the 6 people who would be my crew for the day, and I gave them a safety talk. The rapids are going to be really big today, like big. The current's going to be fierce, and if you fall out of the boat, I want you to hold on to your paddle and swim if you can towards the boat, and I'm going to yank you from your life jacket and pull you into the boat. They're looking at me like, seriously? You're my guide? My 12-year-old is bigger than you. Full of adrenaline, we set off. Just above the biggest rapid, we stopped, and the other guides and I scouted it out. We hiked along the water's edge, and we stood on a granite platform, a rock, overlooking the rapid. It was roaring. The lead guide, Charlie, said, "Drop in from the right. The current's going to push you into the hole, but if you paddle hard, you'll make it." Fear was thundering through my veins. My knees were literally shaking. My stomach was churning with self-doubt. I felt the responsibility. My responsibility was to get these people down safely. But there were no other options. The only way out of the gorge was to go down the river, or cross the river if we could, and bushwhack our way out through the forest to the road. It was miles away. But I was the only female guide, the most novice. I couldn't back down. But every cell in my body screamed no. So I turned to the other guides and I said, "I don't think we can make this. I'm not taking my people down." They looked at me like, "Of course you're taking your people down." But I wouldn't. We called the trip off and we hiked out. Later, we learned that indeed it was too dangerous to run the river that day. No other company had run their trips. They called it off at the put-in. The rapid below us had turned into a waterfall. There's no way we would have made it safely. The power of defining moments is that they test us. They test who we are and what we're made of. They shape how others see us, and more importantly, they shape how we see ourselves. It's in those moments that we learn that we are someone who will stand for what we believe in, or that will cower under the fear, under judgment from others. But what's interesting about defining moments is that they occur throughout life, not just when we're standing on the precipice of life or death, but in the day-to-day choices we make of how we show up and what actions we choose to take. I witnessed a defining moment recently. My friend Gail lives in San Francisco, and she walked outside of her building, and she saw Michael, the homeless man who sits outside on the sidewalk outside of her place. And she stopped. She said hello. She called him by name. She took his hand and genuinely asked how he was. Later, she told me that she often stops, says hello to Michael, And she especially makes sure that she takes his hand, because she imagines that as a homeless person, he doesn't often get to feel the warmth of the human touch. She chose compassion. My sister, just a few days ago, told me about a defining moment in my 1.5-year-old twin nephews. They sat in their high chairs. They were both hungry and waiting for dinner. So to hold them over, she gave Noah a bottle, and she hurried to the kitchen to make another. She heard Daniel cry, and she saw Noah reach over to his brother and give him his bottle. At 1.5 years old, Noah chose generosity. Think for ourselves, how often do you choose gratitude over grievance, selflessness and service over selfishness, compassion over callousness? Viktor Frankl said that between a stimulus and a response, there's a space. And in that space, we have the power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This is so profound to me. I do believe this is the key to happiness, to have the clarity and the courage to make extraordinary choices in ordinary moments. Thank you.